Hi guys, Sandra here of the blog thesensiblemom.com. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I make Italian sausage and homemade chicken tenders in the NewAir Magic Chef digital air fryer. And I'm doing this in the air fryer because the folks that work with Magic Chef actually contacted me and asked me if they could send me an air fryer. And I was like, yes. Yes, you can. If there's something that's going to reduce my time in the kitchen, I'm all for it. I'm all for giving it a try. So I told them that yes, I would try it out and I would share it with you guys. And honestly, I can say that I love it. I've been sharing about it in my Insta stories. Also, if you guys do want to follow me on Instagram, be sure to check out the link down in my description box below because the party's on Instagram many days. A lot of stuff that doesn't make it to YouTube, I'll share quickly on Instagram. The other day, I shared my whole kitchen adventure on Instagram. I like doing that. So I'll often share some of my little kitchen adventures. The other day I made homemade pizzas and I shared the recipe. I talked about it. I took you guys through the process. I also made homemade monkey bread and I've done a bunch of other things. So the party's on Instagram. If you guys want to follow me and see my day-to-day like life and what I'm cooking and things like that, be sure to follow me there. But for today, I'm not going to be spending 6 hours in the kitchen. Yay! Thanks to the air fryer, I am going to be spending far less time in the kitchen because the air fryer is amazing. It cooks food quickly and it turns out so delicious and it's just wonderful. I love it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be making the Italian sausages first and then I'll make the chicken tenders after that. So here is the air fryer. It's actually quite big and all you do to use it is plug it in, and I've already got it plugged in. And now I'm going to remove this. The basket is actually quite big and it holds a lot of food. So I will have no problem putting this entire pack of sausages in there. And later I'll have no problem fitting a lot of chicken tenders in here. So I'm gonna get started right now with spraying the inside just a little bit for the sausages. There we go. And for the sausages, I'm gonna be making these Bona handcrafted Italian sausages. These are so good. We've bought them several times in the past and they are delicious. All right, so I've got my Italian sausages in the basket. Now I'm going to put the basket into the air fryer and get these started. Okay, my sausages are in and now I'm gonna get these started. So this air fryer is ridiculously easy to use. Okay, as you can see, it's on. So I'm going to just put these at 360 and I want to put them in there for 10 minutes to start. So I'm going to cook them at 360 for 10 minutes and then I'm going to flip them and cook them for about another 5 minutes. And as you can see, the air fryer has already started up. Once you set the temperature and the time, it takes 3 seconds and then it starts cooking your food. So for a side, I'm just going to make a bag of these Trader Joe's French green beans. This recipe is ridiculously easy. This is the way that I always make the green beans that we get from Trader Joe's. So basically I'm just going to take my green beans and put them in the pot. And next I'm going to add in a splash of water, some Himalayan pink salt, some ground pepper, finally a big chunk of butter. And then I'm going to put the lid on top of the pan and just cook these over a medium-low heat until they're done. Okay, the air fryer just beeped, indicating that our sausages are ready to be turned. So here's what they look like so far. Looking good. And as you can see, these are already almost done. So all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna flip them over and then I'm gonna put them in for about 5 more minutes and they'll be done. All right, now I'm gonna put these in for 5 more minutes and it'll be time to eat. Well, it'll be time to eat for my kids who like sausages. For the ones that are not fans, It's gonna be a little bit longer. I'm starting to get the ingredients ready for the chicken. In the meantime, let's take a peek at these green beans. They are cooking along nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and give them a stir and then cover them again with the lid to finish cooking. They should be done right about the same time that the bratwursts are done. Okay, so the air fryer just beeped, indicating that the sausages are done. Ooh, I can hear them sizzling. And here they are. As you can see, they look delicious, and I'm just so pleased. I'm amazed, honestly, at how well the air fryer cooks food. And it's amazing. I love this. And as you guys can tell, this took like no work at all. It was so easy. So now I'm gonna go ahead and serve these up with some green beans to my kids that like Italian sausage. And then I'm gonna get started on the chicken tenders. I'm actually working on those right now. I'll show you guys kind of what I'm doing and how I'm going to make the outside of the chicken tenders, what I'm using for the breading and all that. So that's coming up. Okay, so here's a better look at the sausages. Don't they look amazing? And can you believe that these were cooked in an air fryer with minimal work? I'm just like, wow, wow. So, and the green beans look good too. They look good too. But right now I'm going to serve these up to my kids, and then like I said, I'm gonna get started on the chicken tenders. All right, it's time to make the chicken tenders. So as you can see, I've got my chicken, and it's just 3 large chicken breasts that I've cut in half and then cut into strips and then seasoned with salt and pepper. And then in my bowl here, I've got some eggs. I've got actually 2 eggs in here, 1/4 of a cup of whole milk, just because I had whole milk on hand in the refrigerator. That's what I had to use to make the monkey bread. So you can use some other kind of milk if you want, but I used whole milk, like I said, 1/4 of a cup plus 2 eggs, and then a little bit of salt and pepper. And then for the outer breading of the chicken tenders, I am using these panko breadcrumbs. I've got about 2 cups in my pan here. And to that, we added some Himalayan pink salt, some pepper, some garlic powder, some turmeric, and some seasoned salt. And basically my husband got home and he loves to season our food, and so he went ahead and just sprinkled all of those different seasonings on top. And then to that, there's no real measurements. You guys can just put as much as you want on in your breadcrumbs or your breadcrumb mixture to go on top. And then to go along with that, I'm just adding in 1/2 of a cup of flour, and now I'm gonna mix this all together. Okay, so my breadcrumbs are ready to go, and it's time to get started on the chicken tenders. So as you can see, basically I'm gonna take a chicken tender, dip it in the egg mixture, dip it in the breadcrumbs, and then I'm going to place it on the wire rack. And hopefully you guys can tell, but under the wire rack, I just put down some plastic wrap on my counter to catch the drippings, to get, you know, the breadcrumbs and things like that that will fall off of the chicken. And this way they're gonna fall onto the plastic wrap and not right onto my counter, to kind of make cleanup easier. I'll still wipe down my countertop after I'm all done, but I won't be having to clean up chicken bits and all these breadcrumbs and everything like that. So just a little tip for you guys. Okay, and now let's get started. So I'm going to grab a piece of chicken and put it in my little egg bath here. Make sure it's coated on all sides, and then let it drip off, and then I'm going to move it to the breadcrumbs. There we go. And I'm going to coat this on all sides. It's looking good. And now I'm going to take this and kind of shake it out a little bit, and then set it on my wire rack, and then repeat this process with the rest of the chicken tenders. Looks good. Okay, so my chicken is coated and ready to go into the air fryer. So I'm just going to take the basket out, and I'm not going to wash it or anything like that. It's fine. I can use it even though the Italian sausages were in there. That's totally fine. I'm good with that. So I'm going to go ahead and start loading some chicken into the basket. So here are my chicken tenders. Now I'm going to put the basket back into the air fryer. There we go. Now I'm going to cook these at 360 degrees for 7 minutes. There we go. And after the 7 minutes, I'm going to take them out and flip them and then cook them for about 7 or 8 minutes more once I determine how done they are. And that's it. And if you're wondering how good these chicken tenders are, I can tell you that I have one son who would rather eat frozen waffles than most of the chicken tenders that they sell in the grocery store. When I bring certain brands of chicken tenders home, he just doesn't want them. He's not interested, and he would rather have frozen waffles than eat those. But he loves these. He loves the homemade chicken tenders. So I think that's good. And then my daughter, my little 6-year-old daughter Elizabeth, she said these were the best she'd ever tasted. So I think that's great. So we will definitely be making these again and again and again. They're very easy to make, and I love that, you know, we can make them with, you know, they're healthier with less fat and everything by using the air fryer. So thumbs up for the air fryer. So the air fryer just beeped. I'm going to go ahead and take these out and give them a flip now. They're looking pretty good. Okay, I flipped them, so I'm gonna put this basket back in and cook these for another 7 minutes. While these are finishing up cooking, I did want to mention that the folks that work with Magic Chef did give me a 20% off coupon code to share with you guys. If you use the code SensibleMom and go through the link down in the description box below, you'll be able to save 20% off of one of these air fryers. So these are done and cooked all the way through, and I did taste this one and it's delicious. It's nice and juicy. And I did want to mention though, I have children with different tastes, as you guys can tell. I've been talking about that throughout this video, but I have some people in my family who like things extra crunchy, and I have others who don't really like that. They like things to be kind of softer and just less crunchy. So you can definitely play around with the cooking temperature and the times. So if your family likes chicken tenders more crunchy, you might want to bump up the temperature to, let's say, 390 and cook them a little bit longer. And if your family doesn't like them super crunchy, then you might want to just do what I did and keep it at 360 for about 14 minutes total. So yeah, you can just play around with things and just do what works best for your family. All right, so the first batch is done and it's delicious. Here's what's left of it. I've got my my picky chicken tender eater enjoying his chicken tenders, his homemade chicken tenders, and he's having it with some barbecue sauce. I personally like to indulge a little bit when I have my chicken tenders, and I like to have mine with honey. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video right here because I've got some chicken tenders in the basket cooking right now, and then I probably have another 1 or 2 more baskets that I'm gonna have to do. So I'm gonna work on that. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. And let me know in the comments below, do you have an air fryer? I would love for you to share recipes or links to recipes, or just give me ideas about what you like to make in your air fryer. I would really love to know. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.